Hey YouTube, it's DJ A-Slam. I always wanted to tell the story of my mom because it is Canada's 150 and we're so happy to live in this country and do music in this country. And she has a great story of how she came here. And obviously there's a lot of talk about the Syrian refugees and how we can support them. So I just wanted to tell my mom's story. So here is my mom.
I think I was born in Masaka.
Oh God, just... Okay, try it.
Okay, I was born in Masaka.
Yeah.
82 miles away from Kampala. That was the city. With my nursery school there, my primary school, my high school.
Yeah.
It was a small town. Everybody knew each other.
Yeah.
We had a lot of teachers from London, England,
Yeah.
who came to teach us. Yeah.
So you...
And then after that, I went to Dar es Salaam. Dar es Salaam is in Tanzania. Did my Montessori course there. It's all in East Africa. It's Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. All three are called East Africa. And then I taught the preschoolers in Masaka. I make 600 shillings a month, $60 a month.
Yeah. But was that enough money to survive?
Oh, yeah.
That was good money there.
Mom stayed home looking after the children.
Yeah. What was Dad's shop?
Clothing. Out of the 5 sisters, I'm the youngest.
Yeah.
Home was beautiful, no
Yeah.
problems. My pets were my dog, his name was Tiger. Then I had Kasku, and I had a monkey. We had a bird, crested crane. Oh, and we had a rooster and 5 hens. Veranda is like a patio, but it's huge, huge. When you enter the house, it's all huge veranda where people can sit. The crested crane, we were so stupid. We forgot that he's a bird. We used to catch all the, we used to call sanene. We used to catch it for him and then give it to him, forgetting that he's a bird. Now, when we came here, I said we were so stupid. Oh, all my pets were very, very possessive about my mother. The dog wouldn't let my mother go out of the house. We would tie him up or take him in the room. My mom could go out with her friends. But then after we released the dog, he would sit outside near the gate waiting for mom to come back. Yeah, before I was born, it was a dog named Tom, who looked after my 2 sisters a lot. He used to take them to school. He used to bring them back home. He also used to follow them when they went for prayers to Jamaat Khana. My sister was saying once she was in Khane and the dog was behind him in Khane. But Nasim knows the whole story. Mommy would say, go pick up the girls, and he would go and pick up the girls. Oh, I forgot to tell you about my rooster and the 4 hens. Wherever the rooster would go, the wives would follow him. We couldn't buy another rooster because he would fight with the other rooster. Our rooster, his name was Gopi. Gopi was very jealous. The dog would sleep, then the monkey would sleep on the dog's chest, and then Kasku would stay beside them. Okay, but the monkey was very mischievous. We used to take all our keys and go up in the roof and hide all these things up. If you can't find anything, we have to go up there in the roof. Life was fun. We used to just play outside.
And it was warm. And did you feel safe? Did you always feel safe there?
Very safe.
Yeah.
Very safe. Salma was at the university in Kampala. Prime Minister Obote, I think they kicked him out and the army took over. Dada took over. It was good for a little while, but then all of a sudden he decided all the Mazungu, he used to call them Mazungu. Mazungu is white people to leave. And gradually he wanted all the East Indians to leave. Everybody started panicking and started packing up.
Okay.
And I think I remember then Canada opened up the doors, Australia opened. People with British passports could leave because they were British. Mm-hmm. But I think our numbers would come in the newspaper. Say that you have to leave. Start packing up. Salma was in Kampala, so I think she did all the arrangements because but we applied for the Canadian visa and Australian. Mm-hmm. But our Australian number came first. They were very strict on the airport, Entebbe airport. They were checking. Some people say that they were checking the bags and taking the stuff out. I don't remember what stuff, but we didn't have anything. Papa never let us go out at night because it wasn't safe, because it's army everywhere.
But that was after Idi Amin took over.
Yeah.
Before Idi Amin took over, it was safe at night.
Fine.
So did you know that he was like killing people? Did people start to realize? Or is that later?
I think it was the army that was starting to kill people. But some friends know a lot about it because they were in Kampala.
How long was your family in Uganda?
Grandfather was there, so it's a long time ago.
So your grandfather, and then your father, and then you. So at least 3 generations you were in Uganda.
Yeah.
Passports are Ugandan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we went to Perth. We rented a house, and then I went and did my nursing course. Shiraz was working, Salma was working, Aslam was working, and Papa and Mommy stayed home. It was Papa who wanted to move to Canada because Papa missed his family. All the family was in Vancouver and Toronto, so Papa decided that he wanted to move. I think Nassim and they first went to Britain. I don't know the story. Then they came to Canada. I think we lived in Australia for 4 years, and Nassim sponsored my papa and mommy. Salma auntie sponsored. Came to Vancouver. Got married, moved to Ontario, had 2 kids. Then we decided to go to Sycamus. Didn't work out, and I had my divorce there. Rahim, you and me moved to Vancouver and lived with Nani. And after living with Nani, then I did my medical secretary course and my dental assistant course, dental secretary. But then I had applied in a co-op housing. The 3 of us moved in a co-op. And then I got a job as a secretary in a doctor's office. And I started working there for almost 18, 19 years. Fully booked. Every day we are fully booked. Good doctor.
How long have you been at CarePoint Medical?
6 years now, I think.
Yeah.
We see patients every day. Staff is good. Office manager is good.
Yeah.
Like my job. Got our parrot.
Yeah.
We had a parrot back in Ontario. You were just a baby. And I had the parrot came with us to Vancouver. I was in the paper at that time. It was in the 80s. And I went and got it from a small town called Brampton I don't know. It was a small town just outside Guelph. It's just a little baby. He must have been about 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old.
Yeah.
There were about 20 parrots in there in a small cage. And I had to pick the one who had no sense. Oh, Akal. They picked his, he had a hole just above his nostril. They were picking on him. So I picked that one. There was Justin Trudeau's dad, right? He opened the doors, connecting with Aga Khan, right? With Yali Baba. They were very, very good friends. Aga Khan and Trudeau, Justin Trudeau calls Aga Khan uncle. He calls Yali Baba uncle, you know that?
Oh.
How close they were.
Yeah.
But Canada wasn't the only place. Portugal, some of the European countries also, and even Britain had opened the doors too. Australia opened the doors. European countries. Thing about Canada is it's a good place to live. Canada is a very secure place to live in. You're happy. There are laws that govern the country, and you go by the law. As far as I've heard, when all those people who moved to Canada from Uganda, the people really, government and the other people who volunteered, helped them a lot. Remember, Red Cross was there to help people. The Red Cross was involved in this. Just be thankful for where you are. You should be thankful. All of us should be thankful.
Alright, I hope you guys like that. My mom's first ever time being on camera. I know she's super shy. Please reshare if you guys learned something. So, like I said, we're super thankful. All the countries, including Canada, that took a lot of immigrants and refugees in. What we gotta remember is if they didn't pull the Asians out of Africa, we would have died there. That's what would have happened. When you guys are talking about these things, remember, that's my mom. Did my mom deserve to die in Africa? No. Does anyone deserve to die in those countries? Of course not. And look up the stats yourself, but from my understanding, it was 300,000 to 500,000 people that died in Africa. Africans, right? They live, that is their home. You do not deserve to die in your home. My mom's African. She holds a Ugandan passport. So whether you call us Asian because our skin color is different, we were all Africans. No one deserves to die in the country they live in. So if we can get them out of there, policies and whatever, we get them out. When I think about other conflicts and I think about immigrants and refugees, while you guys talk, just don't forget, we're talking about people's lives. I hope this story helps, further the openness that we have when it talks about immigration and refugees, and we really remember we're putting people first. And part of the reason we love doing music is I feel like music is one of those things that brings all of us together, no matter our birthplace or culture or religion or any of that stuff, which is why we feel so passionately about music. So I hope you guys liked it. Make sure you subscribe, and that's it.
Now you go and cook now. Why don't you cook, Hussein?